control it. And we really don't have any issues on it at the moment, but if we did, we don't have to call Palo Alto, California, right? And then I could sit here for the next, for the rest of the meeting and just gripe about the media or the, corporations or whatever. But instead of doing that, we just made our own path. It's like we have our own media, and we have our own social media. And so if you join it's called the Hum Hub. So there's a user agreement, and the user agreement is a declaration of membership. So you agree, it lets you in, you have all the privileges of being a member of the group. So you can vote on our officers, you can vote on our platform, and you can vote to help on our bylaws. So it's basically, it's a convergence of political association and social network. And so we're doing it, okay? So we started in March, and then in May of this year, come on in. So in May of this year, there's this period, do you know about the presidential, minor party presidential stuff? Yeah, so basically, if you want to be recognized as a minor party in Washington State, oh, there we go. I knew this was going to happen. These two speakers. So if you want to be recognized as a minor party in Washington State, you need to run a presidential ticket. And the opportunity to do this only happens once every, can you hear me at all? Should we move into the other room? Fine. The opportunity for this only happens once every 4 years. It's like cicadas hatching, right? Okay, and so here we started this fledgling party. We established our process of membership, and then boom, this thing fell into our lap. And so you need to have, there's a period from May 4th to July 27th, and what's the date today, the 23rd?
3rd, yeah.
Okay, and so where you can have as many conventions as possible. You need to have 100 registered voters attend a convention. You need to post a legal notice in the paper at least 10 days before the event happens, and then also produce an affidavit. So, hey, Mark, give me a few minutes. It's Krist. Give me a few minutes. No, that's cool. But when you're ready to do the line check on the drums, then go for it. Thanks.
I'll wait for the word.
Okay. Don't let me hang you up. I'll be fast on the bass. I'm a pro. I know what I'm doing. Okay, so we got pushed into this. We want to qualify as a bona fide minor party. So we got pushed into this process, and it's been haphazard, rushed. Here's our convention meeting, like during the sound check, right? But so we're getting the signatures though. We're getting close, and we need 1,000 valid signatures. Anyway, so we're getting there, and I lost my train of thought. So we're going. So we got the party going. So what is it? Why do we want to do this? Okay. So if you're recognized by the state of Washington as a bona fide minor party, then you get to the same fundraising rules that Republicans and Democrats have, and they have certain privileges because they're major parties, but they're also bona fide parties. So we'd like to get at that. So, and we don't have any candidates this year. We're not endorsing or opposing any ballot initiatives. We're not lobbying any legislators. We want to set up for 2025 and 2026. So it'd be nice, say we get critical mass, and we get more members, we get people running under the Cascade Party banner. It'd be great to have access to this bona fide party rules. So that's why it's this mad dash to do this, right? Because we're a political association. That's what we seek to be. We want to express the needs and values of our members. Okay, so if we don't qualify as a minor party, then we'll just be a PAC, a political action committee. Wow, is that what the world really needs, is more political action committees? But I could get into the whole breadth of like campaign finance in Washington and this and that. So that's basically the idea of the Cascade Party. And we have a platform and some policies that we're advocating. We have draft bylaws, and this is the last thing I'm gonna get into before the Q&A starts. But for example, if you look at our bylaws, there's a section in it, it's called Legislative Party. And so basically, the people who are elected under the Cascade Party banner, they're in the county commission, city hall, legislature, and there's some rules there. So let's say we actually in 2026, we elect some state legislators. Or some just switch to be Cascade, who knows, right? And so there's a section in the bylaws that says that there's a few rules, but a major rule is like they shall not use the whip system. And what does that mean? It means that there's not going to be an officer on the floor of the Cascade Party whipping members, okay? So basically, there'll be like, and our platform will have like, 4 or 5 major things, or however many we settle on in our platform. But then everything else, our legislators are independents. So that way they can speak better to their constituency. So maybe a King County, Pierce County, a King County Cascade Party person will vote a little differently than somebody from Eastern Washington or Pierce County or whatever. So you get what I'm saying? Like there's not this rigid party discipline, that there is that obligation to the constituency. And when we've been advocating this, and people like it. They like that latitude for people. So that's what we're trying to do, is just do things differently, and just try. It's 2024. It's going to be 2025, and so there's always time to break new ground. I mean, with the social media, we're making our own media, and we have our own website, and we have our own like party press, the summit, and we've been really busy here in July, but in August, September, because since we're not going to be involved in any election this year, that's going to open up time to just start, working on our platform, our blog, and bringing people in, managing our social media. Hi, Josh.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
Josh is running for independent state house,
Right.
over across the bridge. What district is that?
26.
26.
Gig Harbor area.
Part of Bremerton.
Yeah, Bremerton as well, and then Port Orchard, keeping it so.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. So
Yeah.
I'm just about wrapping it. Was it hard to find this? Are there?
I had to ask Mark in the band where to come to.
Oh.
They kind of turned us away and said they knew nothing about it.
Yeah, see what I mean? And then I even signed a contract. But anyway, because I set this up, and that's, you know what I mean? So it shows how haphazard it is. Like, I shouldn't have set this up, because I'm the worst person to do this stuff. But once we get established, then, we'll get more, we'll get organized. And Margie's our secretary. So what, does anybody have any questions? Yes.
I have a question. So I just want to know a little bit more about the platform, because I like the idea of not having a whip and allowing members of the legislature or whatever branch, Cascade Party representatives up front. But I want to know kind of what the stand of the Cascade Party is. Most parties have some kind of platform or idea.
Well, it is published. There's a few things on there. It's a draft platform. Like
Just a summary.
Funding law enforcement, drug court. Okay, so it's falling out of favor. So we're not breaking any ground on this, but housing first, harm reduction, that kind of stuff. It's just like, I don't support it. So so basically something like drug court, where I've seen, you're a judge, so you know this stuff. So some people need that kind of leverage, or that you need that kind of nudge, where you make a deal and say, hey, you can have a deferred prosecution. You can go to jail, or you can go for a year, do random year analysis, and have go to AA meetings or whatever, and then your charge goes away. Right? It's that kind of stuff. You know, urban density, streamlined permitting kind of stuff. You get there should be like a bunch of designs on like structures, and you just pull them off the shelf. Then it's up to the contractor to decide what color paint or what kind of windows or whatever. But it's that building, right? Just so we can have more, we can build our way out of the housing crisis. It says we're a party of conservation and preservation. So, you know, Washington legislature passed a couple of sessions ago like $180 million for salmon recovery, right? And so like, we live out on the coast, Darby and I do. And like there was this rusty culvert 5 feet above the creek, and it was just obsolete and failing. So they took it out, they put this nice box culvert in. Now the salmon are coming in and out of it, right? So it's that kind of stuff. It's on, you know, it's just kind of this centrist stuff. And we don't have any like national federal things now. I think, like, personally, I'm like really into Sarah Nelson on the Seattle City Council, or someone like Mark Mullet, who's running for governor. Just that kind of profile, if you want to know what we're about. So it's not really, there's things are so polarized on the left, they're so polarized on the right. There could be this center lane opening up, and there could be a realignment where people are looking for something new. So if we have the right kind of legislators, our candidates, and the right kind of platform, we can attract people. What does a party do? A party distills the issues for voters. It's so like, you know, you see Cascade Party, you see the owl, and you're a voter, and you're like, oh yeah, I know what this party's about. Or you see a donkey, or you see an elephant, and there's voters. I don't think even a legislator can even wrap their mind around every issue. They're just generalists, and so parties just distill the issues for people. That's why we have the Prefers Party in Washington State. They didn't go to nonpartisan elections. They knew that there needed to be some kind of cue on the ballot to send this message to voters. So look, you're a voter, you get your ballot, it says prefers Cascade Party, you could say yeah, or you could run like hell. It's not for you, right? That's freedom. That's what freedom is. And so we just want to be another option for people. We have an election system in Washington State where they're not plurality, winner take all, not plurality elections. You get a primary, and then the top 2 vote getters advance to the general election, the second stage of the election. So in a lot of these districts are uncontested. Or lopsided, but if we can get the right kind of candidate with the right kind of message, it can be a competitive race and get in the general election. So there's not necessarily, you know, there's a lot of vote splitting right now in the Washington primaries, and we'll see what happens this year in this primary. But you know, you get to the top 2, you just get 2 choices in a write-in. So there's a lot of opportunities there. If the party's done right. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
How much
John?
longer do you have to get the 1,000?
Saturday.
Do you know where you're at right now?
We're in a good spot.
Okay.
But it has to be valid.
Right. Valid.
It has to be valid. So
somebody checks them.
Yeah, the Secretary of State does. And so it's
Yeah,
like,
we get to deliver it all to the Secretary of State and they get to do all the work.
is it 70? Do we have a 70%? Do we have an 80% validity? We don't know, right? But it's just kind of like, I gotta look, because it's like, hey, we've got it, everybody. Like, no, we don't got it.
Yeah.
We got it, every day counts. We gotta keep going, because of that whole validity thing. We don't know what our, how many they're gonna accept.
And I think the signers can only sign one petition from one party, correct? So if they signed it from a different party, then there might be issues.
If you signed it for, what is that? The Party for Liberation and Socialism?
Yeah, like those.
They're running ticket. I saw their poster on a pole in Seattle, and then Kennedy, he got like 4,000. RFK Jr., but I'm not aware. And then libertarians, they're always running somebody. So, but if you sign one of their petitions and you sign our petition, it cancels both.
Oh.
Right. Yeah. So.
Krist, do you have a grace period determine the ballots after Saturday? How long do you have to actually turn it in?
Friday the 2nd. So we're gonna consolidate, count, kind of arrange, just see what we got, and then we have 10 electors. So we have our electors.
Could I ask, Chris, how are you, are you reaching out to the other side of the mountains?
Yes. Yeah, tomorrow we have a we had a convention in Ellensburg already, and tomorrow we have a convention in Yakima, Spokane, Richland, and Saturday night, Walla Walla.
Does it resonate over there?
We did pretty good. I mean, it's a hard pitch, and we were at Kelly and I, we were at the Bald Eagle Fest parade in Catalana. We had Johan was there, and we had our canopy set up and our sign. And you make the pitch, and they're like, "What? You're running for president, but you're not?" Yeah. Then it's draining. You have to explain this on a case by case basis to people. It's confounding. It's confusing. And then I got a pitch going, and we want to qualify this party. We need more choices. And this happened on Saturday. The guy sees it. President, vice president. What's this? And it's just well, it's just this technicality where we don't want to be on the ballot. But it's just really, it's not the way to do it. So even before we started this, we wrote a letter to the Secretary of State, and we got a response back from the Attorney General. And we said, hey, these rules are not good. And it's a whack about the president and vice president, which is Washington Administrative Code. But there's RCWs too, so I don't want to get into the weeds with this stuff. But so the state came back to us and they said that they're considering our letter a petition for a rule change. And so, but there's a process for that. There's going to be public hearings, notices, those kind of things. And so we're going to testify at the hearing saying, hey, we need a better rule for this. So what happened is in 2008, Washington voters passed I-872, the top two primary. They effectively made elections nonpartisan. And this is a descriptive ballot, disclaimer ballot. And so to have the major minor party test, the state needed to hitch its wagon to a partisan election. There's only 2 partisan elections in Washington State anymore. And it's hello, hi Alex. And it totally spans the chasm of there's the state of Washington hitched its wagon to the presidential election, but the only other partisan race is PCO, precinct committee officer. So maybe there can be a solution to where, and we can work on this together. Is he on the soundboard? Yeah, we're done. Anyway, we're done. So anyway, I'm getting into the weeds with this stuff, but perhaps a solution is that you have to stand X amount of PCOs in a PCO election, and then that's how you qualify for be a minor party, something like that. Because nothing captures the imagination of the American voter more than the office of President of the United States. So they hitch their wagon to that, and us up and coming minor party, we get tethered to that. And it's tough. So maybe we could just pivot, and so this could be our testimony in front of the hearing for the petition for the rule change. We'd say, because you got to, if you want them to change the rules, which we initiated, we got to have an alternative plan. Well, here's our plan. It's just you run so many PCOs, so that's this kind of thing. But see how our policies are. So in closing, it's just politics are so visceral. and then everything's like shock, donate button, shock, donate now, shock. Okay, click here, click there. You won't believe, click here, click on this, click on that. And so, Cascade Party, we're like slow food. That's all fast food. It's just like, you ever have dinner in Italy? You ever been to Italy? It's really not, it's slow. The food comes out, and you eat dinner for 4 hours. So it's like slow food. Okay, and it's nutritionally dense. Right, so on our site we have a book club. We're reading this, we're doing that. So basically, and so qualify or not qualify as a bona fide party, we're going to keep building it, inviting people to join, to participate, and try to have as much fun as possible. See each other's humanity. It's that kind of, so we're just doing it. It's just like, wouldn't it be great if social media didn't suck? Like, well, yeah, because we made our own social media, right? So there you go. So
have you reached out to the Young Turks again at all?
oh, Cenk, yeah, I gotta talk to him. I haven't been in LA in a long time. So basically, like, we're doing this in July, and then what is August? It's the holidays. My schedule's wide open. There's going to be an election. We're staying out of the presidential election. We're staying out of it. We're going to stay out of it. So we're going to build a party, work on getting people in, work on our bylaws, work on our platform, work on our social media, and then also, it's not a crusade. It's just like, in the meantime, have a beer or something, or a latte or whatever. You know what I mean? So. And then and it's a demonstration too. So, and say somebody, an individual, doesn't necessarily line up with our platform, well, then they can take our ideas of the social media. Jennifer takes forever. They're going to take forever.
Yeah, I think Mark.
Anyway,
We could go down to the bar too, and
no, we're done.
okay. You said party.
I mean, I go up there, I'm just like, sounds great. That's how I roll. Well, thanks for coming. It was a half-hour meeting, so that's reasonable, right? Yeah, thank you.
Nice one.
I'm gonna go do this. Oh, and sign our petition. Did you sign? Thank you. Please. What do they call it when you get the little a flight? Thanks, Mark.